All right, guys. So my name is Gediminas, and today I wanted to share with you some of my notes from the Success Summit 3. So Success Summit is a generic network marketing training event that happens in the UK, run by a guy called Frazer Brookes. If you don't know who Frazer Brookes is, Google him, find him on Facebook, start following him. The guy is unbelievable. He's just something else. And he runs this generic training event. He gathers these incredible speakers, some of whom are top leaders from other network marketing companies, some of whom are people who are completely out of, not in the network marketing, and it's just 2 days of value. I took about 50 pages of notes. This is just this one event, guys. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So obviously I'm not going to share everything I picked up because we would be here for 2 days, because my hand was aching from writing, because I love to take my notes, but I will share some of the things that made the biggest impact on me, or maybe the things that made it to my to-do list. So I don't know about you guys, but when I go to a training event, I'm taking two types of notes. One type of notes that I take is stuff that I can teach. So as I'm listening to stuff, oh, that's going to be a Facebook Live. Oh, that's going to be a Facebook. Oh, that's going to be. So I just take the teaching, the things that I know I can use and teach. And then these other things that I write down is the action points. So these are the things that I need to apply right away. So one thing I want to advise you is not to get overwhelmed, because it's so easy to go to an event like that, a 2-day or 3-day or 4-day event, where by the end of it, you just go, oh my gosh, there's so many things, like I don't even know where to start, so I will do nothing. And that's what most people do, right? So instead, don't try to apply everything. Even what I'm going to share with you today, it's going to be a lot. And probably you're not ready to apply everything I'm about to share with you, but pick 1, 2, or 3 things that you're going to implement. Like I picked up 3 things. Shall I tell you now what the 3 things are? Yeah, I'll tell you now what the 3 things are. So one thing that I picked up because of the training was about Facebook groups. And I'm going to share a bit about Facebook groups. And I have a Lithuanian Facebook group that I created a couple of years ago, like a personal development group. And people, share stuff about personal development in that group. And there's like 1.7 thousand people was there. 24 hours later, by the end of today is 1,900 something because I promoted it a bit. So I decided, and a lot of people have been asking me like, oh, Gediminas, when are you going to start doing Lithuanian lives? Come on, right? You're only doing English ones. So I made a decision at this training. I'm going to build the community in that group, and I'll do Lithuanian lives. So today was my episode number 1. Some of these guys were actually on this live, and it was okay. I was, for a long time, first time in a long time, I was nervous before doing my Facebook Live because I'm doing it in my own language. And believe it or not, it's harder for me to do a live in Lithuanian than it is in English. I know it's weird, but it's just, you learn things in English and it's difficult then to say them in your own language. So that was my first action point. Start doing lives every single day. Second point was to build that community in the group, right? Because again, I'll talk about groups. And the third one was stories. And again, I'll talk about stories. So I made a decision to actually, so it's 4. So I made a decision to do stories every day now. And the third one and the fourth one is to do one product for 30 days. And I'll explain about that as well. So it's like action points. Now I've learned, I will probably apply about maybe 20, 30 ideas from this training, but not right away. Because I know if I try to put everything right away, it's just going to overwhelm me. So I'm going to do 2, 3 things. Once I get that good, then I'll add another couple of things and so on. You know what I mean? So don't get overwhelmed by this training, guys, because you shouldn't. It's okay. You can take it step by step. Okay. So first one, it was a bit of a reminder for me because I've heard similar trainings from other trainers, but I thought it might be useful for you. It's like a preparation for Facebook Live, because I do a lot of Facebook Lives, and I wanted to share a couple of tips with you guys how you can improve your Facebook Lives if you do your Facebook Lives. So some of you already been doing Facebook Lives, some of you are thinking about doing lives, some of you are rock stars at doing lives, etc. So number one, take a few minutes to prepare. Don't, especially at the beginning, don't just assume that you're going to rock it out. Prepare, make a few notes, make some, few bullet points, what you're going to talk about and things like that. You're just going to make it look more professional. Spend few minutes before you go live commenting on other people's posts, commenting on other people's stories, because it's a reciprocity. If somebody comments under my post something nice, and then 2 minutes later I see that person gone live, out of reciprocity, I'll click on the live and go, okay, let me support them too. You know what I mean? So if you want more people to jump on your lives and watch your lives, do you watch theirs? Do you support them? You know what I mean? Or do you just take, right? Find a quiet place with good lighting. Try to have less noise. Try to have a better light, etc. I have one of these things, ring light. Right, so it just does the trick. It doesn't cost much. You can buy it for like a tenner or 15 quid from eBay, but it's really useful. I take it everywhere. It's like, you can put it, it's from a USB, so you put it in a USB in your computer, and like I've got one with the base like that, but you also have ones with a clip, you can clip on the table. So yeah, it's very easy, and you can put your phone in here, you got your light in here, and it just does the trick, right? So, get good lighting, get good quiet place, set your phone up, don't, like most of the time I try not to hold my phone when I'm doing live, because otherwise it's like that, right? Unless I'm like walking, but even for walking, I've got like one of those, anyway, I'm not going to get involved with that. That's another thing. Have a good title, so before you start your live, put a title. Too many people just go live, right? And obviously, it's better to go live than not to go live. But if you put a title, you'll see a lot more people will join your live. So if you put something like, wow, I can't believe it, and then you go live, you'll see how much more, people you'll have jumping on that live. Because when people get a notification, they actually see the title. So if they just see, oh, Kelly's live, it's one thing. But if they see Kelly's live, OMG, this is amazing, right? Then they're going to go, oh my gosh, what is that? You know what I mean? So they'll be more likely to tap on it. Have good energy. For me, maybe I'm like naturally a high energy person, but you can ramp up yourself. Like Frazer, I don't know how many of you seen Frazer. He goes before he goes live, just to pump his energy up. So find a way how to be alive in your Facebook Live, because that, again, look at the camera, right? So too many people, when they're doing live on their phone, they actually, what they're doing, they're looking at themselves in the camera, not in the freaking camera. I know you're cute, right? You don't need to look at yourself, right? Look at the camera, because then it looks like you're talking to somebody, right? Instead of like you're looking somewhere else, because you're looking how your hair looks like. I love looking at my hair too, but just focus on the camera, okay? Start talking immediately. Don't be one of those people who go, all right, well, let's just wait for some people to jump on. Don't do that, because like 80% of your viewers going to be the replay viewers. They're going to watch the recording. And for them, it's excruciating. Like, oh my God, start talking, right? So don't do that. Just go straight in. And then people who will join in later, they can watch the replay and catch up on the first few minutes. Okay, introduce yourself, right? So especially like me with a weird name, like nobody can pronounce, it's helpful to say, hey, I'm Gediminas. Now they go, oh, that's how you say that thing, right? So introduce yourself always. You can give yourself even like a little bit bio, like, hey, my name is Gediminas. I'm a stay-at-home dad that helps other dads to stay at home, and things like that. So you can give yourself a little like a strap line, when you start your videos. And most importantly, share value. Like nobody, like you're not a Kardashian. Nobody's going to jump on to watch you eating your, food or something like that, right? Like nobody's interested that much in you, right? So have some value to share with people so that the person goes, ooh, that was valuable. I want to jump on again when they go live. Because if you do videos about nothing, it's only so many of them that people will watch, and After that, they'll just stop watching you, you know. Thank the viewers. You know, like whenever I can, I shout out the people on my lives. I'll go, hey, you know, thanks Pavel for joining in. Thanks Mark. Thanks Antonio. Thanks Margarita. Thanks Judita. Right? And I'll give a shout out to people, and they go, oh my gosh, you said my name. Oh, right? It's not. I know it's nuts, right? But people feel like that, you know, because like look, when you're watching telly, they're not shouting your name out of the telly, you know. So when somebody says your name on the live, you go, oh, that's nice, you know. They've noticed me, etc. Right? You know, reply to people's comments. If people are commenting under your live, reply to those comments, because that shows that it's important for you, you know, because otherwise they'll stop commenting. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's sort of first thing, you know, lives. I hope by now you know that Facebook Live is like super important, you know, and like sometimes people say, well, do I have to do lives? Do I have to do videos to grow a successful business? Well, the answer is no. Like, but exactly the same way, like, do I have to use lawnmower to mow my lawn? Well, you don't have to. You can take scissors and go with that, right? But it's going to be a lot harder. Like, it's going to take a lot more time. Like, you don't have to use the lawnmower, right? But it's just going to take a lot of time. So same with these videos. If there is a tool that can really help you speed up your progress and success, why the heck would you not use it? You know what I mean? So it's just, again, like, today, again, one of those days, I'm driving home, my phone starts ringing. You know, so I answer my phone, you know, it's a no number, right? So I answer it, and the lady says, what's her name? Let me just quickly check so I don't lie to you. The lady says, hey, my name is Carmen. I've been watching your videos now for about 2 days on YouTube. I want to join your team. Would that be okay? I tell you, I need to get more of those phone calls. I like them. I like them, right? And why did she choose to join my team? Because of my amazing hair? Or because I'm such a great leader? Because I'm so smart? No, because I bothered to put the freaking video in there, right? So I'm going to keep drumming this into you guys until you go, all right, I'll start doing the bloody videos, right? So I'll keep saying it, guys. Okay, so next is Facebook groups. Facebook is going that direction anyway. Facebook is going towards groups anyway, so you might as well start building those communities. This is one of the reasons why I decided to start building that community within that Lithuanian group that I told you about, right? So, you know, you can have different types of groups. You can have your product groups, and some of you have incredible groups, right? So you can build the communities around those. You can have other types of groups, like, you know, a business opportunity group. Now, I know we have as a team one, you know, so, you know, that's part of the thing. So you can have different types, or you can have a team group and things like that, right? So, or it can be about something completely different, right? You may have a hobby, you know, you might be into horse riding, you might be into motorcycles like Mark, or you might be into different stuff, right? So you might create your own group about your hobby and start building community about that. Guess why? Because if you gain influence in that topic, they will come and join your business, because now they trust you because of the other stuff. You know what I mean? So first of all, get clear on who your group serves and what do they want. You know, so like Kelly often talks about the plus size ladies, right? So that might be her niche, you know, talking to that group of people. You know, somebody else, you know, Margarita is all about Lithuanian rock stars. She's all about helping Lithuanian women succeed in life, become better business people, etc. So that might be her community. You know what I mean? So each of you can find your own tribe, and you can be very clear in the name of the group. Who is it for? What is it? What's the purpose of that group, right? The number 2 is lead the group with value. Be useful to your members. So if it's all about sell, you ain't going to build a very much big community. You know what I mean? It's about value, providing that value. Like that Lithuanian group that I have, I'm going to be now putting so much value in that group that I'm going to grow it from 1,900 people. It's going to grow like to 10,000 people, right? I'm going to put so much value that people will start sharing stuff from it, that people will start inviting their friends to it, and people will start inviting their teams to it, etc. I'm going to pump so much value in there to make sure that it grows as a community. You know what I mean? Instead of going, hey, join my business, you know, like I can do that always, but that's not value. You know what I mean? And if I build enough value, guess what? They're going to ask anyway. You're going to, hey, what business do you do? You know, what is it that you know what I mean? Because if I give them enough value, you know what I mean? So think about that. Whatever group you have, you can provide value in it. And then number 3 is take time to build relationships and network with those members. You know, so it's about, let me just grab my charger because I don't want my computer to die in the middle of the Zoom. So build relationships with those people. So once people start commenting and responding and things like that, or asking questions and things like that, start engaging with those people. 65 people on the Zoom already, guys. You are awesome. You are awesome. I love you. So take that time, because again, that's what's gonna attract people to you. That's what's really gonna want people to work with you and buy from you and do everything when you're seeing them as a person, not just as a number in your group. You know what I mean? So that's in terms of group. A couple of tips about it, and it's huge, guys. Like, you cannot underestimate how big the groups can be. You know, like we had 2 ladies from MIBA, which is Moms in Business Association. And within the space of a few years, they built that group to tens of thousands of people. They're making so much money from it because, of course, they sell their trainings and things like that, you know, within that community. But it's incredible, you know, from scratch. Okay, next big takeaway is stories. You know, Instagram and Facebook stories. Now, a leader that was doing, and again, she's a very successful, I think she's a 6-figure leader. She said that for her, it's most powerful way to recruit and sell products now is stories. Because again, Facebook is moving towards groups and stories and less towards timeline, right? So again, stories are very powerful, and stories are sort of a way for you to give people a behind the scenes look in your life. So your timeline is for your glam pictures, for your best shots, for your best stuff. You know what I mean? It should be like maybe 2-3 posts a day maximum. But your story is like the behind the scenes axis, where people see you without the makeup, where people see you, you know, in your bathrobe, where people see you, you know, cleaning the mess that your kids made, and so on, where they see the real you. Because people want to relate to you. You know, the reason why some people struggle recruiting is because they're not relatable. They try to be so perfect that people are thinking, oh my gosh, I could never be like her. She's so amazing. She's so glamorous. She's so perfect. I could never do the business that she does because I'm not as perfect as she is. But if you let people see that normal side of you, if you let people see that vulnerability, oh my gosh, you cannot imagine how much it's going to give you. Like, you know, at this training event, you know, we had one guy. He's $1 million earner in network marketing. He flew in from USA, and he shared his story of being an alcoholic, you know, and now he's been 30 years sober, etc. Now his mission is helping people who have alcohol or drug addiction, etc. But he used to be an alcoholic, and he told his story how he lost jobs, businesses, everything because of that alcohol problem. You know, most people would go, I would never tell anybody about that, right? That's like, don't share it with anybody. But that's why people relate to him so much, because he opens up. Frazer himself, I mean, he was crying on that stage. He was doing, you know, but that's why people love him so much, because he's opening his heart. He's being vulnerable. So when you do your lives, don't try to be that perfect person. You know, show the real you. Open up. You cannot imagine how that will increase your life. You think that that's a bad thing to do. It's going to completely increase it, right? And story is also a great way to showcase your products, you know, because you can do different things. You can do videos, photos, polls, questions, quizzes. So there's so many, you know, if you click on that sticker in your stories, you know, let me just go into the thing so that I can show you. So if you go into your story to make a new story, let me just do camera, oops, I don't want to take a photo of me. I'll take a photo of you, right? So take a photo of you, you know, so that's my story, right? Let me see if I can do that. And you see that little sticker there at the top that looks like a Post-it note at the very top? See that thing, right? So if I click on that thing, it gives me all the options. So I can do quizzes, I can do polls, I can do, you know, questions and things like that. These are all the stuff that increases interaction. The people get to click on your story or vote or write something in. He says, so use all of those things. They're really, really engaging. And whenever somebody writes something or answers a question, where does it go to? It goes directly to your messenger. So you straight away can reply to that, and you're starting a conversation with that person. It's so much better than a post on your timeline where somebody comments. It's public, right? So they wouldn't like interact with you as much as they would in a messenger, you know? It doesn't need to be perfect. You know, you can utilize hashtags, especially on the Instagram stories. You can engage with other people's stories, right? So it's really, again, stories is something that you want to start using as much as you can. And, you know, you can post on stories 5 times a day, 10 times a day, 15 times a day, 20 times a day. You know, it's not like timeline, you know, where your posts start competing against each other. In the stories, you can post as much as you like. And that's one of the things that I decided to do, and that's something that this trainer advised. What they do in her organization, they focus on one product for 30 days in their stories. So what they do, it's not like same picture every day for 30 days, but it's a different angle. So one day it might be a video, another day it might be a photo, another day it might be a question, another day it might be something else, you know what I mean? But it's the same product. You're attacking the same product for 30 days. So some of you seen my story this morning where I spoke about the food supplement that helps to alkalize my body, right? I did a video. Tomorrow I'll do maybe a picture, etc. So I'm going to be using that to go for 30 days about this one product. Then another product, you know what I mean? So, because again, you think that, oh, but I did a post about that product already and everybody's seen it. Trust me, not everybody's seen it. Like maybe 5% of your Facebook friends see it. Most other people haven't seen it. But if you focus on it day after day after day for 30 days, then you really increase the chance that your audience definitely have seen it, you know? Okay, so again, coming back a little bit to the groups, another trainer was talking about, you know, so again, it's about, you know, not you building your own groups, but it's actually joining other groups. So again, think about groups that align with your hobbies or with your passions or with your interests. So for example, she got married in Cyprus. So she joined a group called Cyprus Brides, where again, she can give value. She can tell about her experience about having a wedding there and things like that. She was about to buy her house. So she joined a group of first-time buyers. You know, so think outside the box. What sort of groups you can join, which align with something that you know, something that you like, etc. You know, so like, you know, Mark. I'm just picking on Mark. You know, Mark could join, you know, boat owners. You know, he could join boat owners and give tips for people who have boats. You know what I mean? Because, you know, he has a boat, you know, and he can tell people about it, etc. You know, so you can think of different things that you have some value to give or advice to share or comments to do, right? So once you're in that group, then get to know people and find a way, a creative way to bring your business up, right? So once you've been chatting to someone, so first of all, you meet somebody in the group, you chat up a bit, and then in a messenger, you can bring your business up, you know, to them, and then add them to a take a look group, right? So to a business opportunity group, right? And then think about how to have another exposure. So, you know, like a lot of people, they can take 7, 8 exposures in order for them to join the business. So a lot of you just want the one hit wonders. You just want, you know, I send them a message, they join my team. I send them a message, they join my team. Like most people not going to do that, guys. Like if you don't follow up, if you don't expose them again and again and again, you're going to lose like 90% of the business you could have had. So you need to find ways how to expose those people. So if somebody's seen your presentation and haven't joined, get them to see some products. If they've seen some products they haven't joined, get them to talk to your sponsor. If they've spoken to your sponsor, haven't joined, get to, you know, meet with them for a cup of coffee. If they met you for a cup of, you know what I mean? Just find different ways how to keep exposing that person until they're ready. You know what I mean? So that's sort of, you know, was quite interesting. Now, when it comes to follow-up, again, it's like, it's a big thing, guys. Follow-up is a huge thing. So there's some myths about follow-up, you know, where people go, well, I don't want to look desperate. You know, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to bother them, right? Well, then don't. You don't have to be pushy, desperate, or bother them in order to do your follow-up. You can do it in a nice way. You can do it by building a relationship with them, by commenting nicely on their post, by keeping in touch, saying that you're thinking about them, and things like that, right? But also there's some assumptions where people go, well, they're not interested. I know they're not interested, right? That's an assumption, right? Or, I've already asked them once. That's it. Again, that's an assumption. I'm just trying to read my own reading now. Oh, everyone knows already about my business, right? That's an assumption. Like, how many of you think that most people on your Facebook knows about your business? How many of you think that, like, most of my friends already know about my business? Okay. Well, the only brave one is Margarita. I bet a lot of you think that, oh, everybody knows that I'm doing this business because I posted it already. Let me turn it around. How many of you, if I took like 50 people from your Facebook friends and I said, tell me what each of them does for a living, how many of you think you could tell what each of your friends on Facebook does for a living if I asked you? Most of you would have no idea. Guess what? They have no freaking idea what you do too, right? So you think that, oh, I posted 5 months ago that I joined network marketing. Everybody knows that I do network. They don't give a crap about you enough to know about what you do for a living, right? So unless you privately message that person and said, hey, John, I just started doing this thing. Would you be open to take a look? And if no, no big deal. He doesn't know, right? Just don't assume that, oh, everybody knows what I'm doing already. Unless you privately message every single person on your Facebook friends list, then not everybody knows about what you're doing. Trust me, right? And it's a huge thing. And one of the speakers said it, and it just, again, it took me second time to hear about it, for it to sink in. So another question to you. How many of you are concerned what other people will think about you? Right? Like, a lot of people are concerned what others will think about them, right? So let me get rid of that for you for the rest of your life. So imagine that your life is a movie. Imagine your life is a movie, right? So you, of course, are the main star, right? You're the main role, right? Now there's people who you talk to, right? Like your closest circle. So that's called supporting actors, right? So these are the people who, like, you regularly meet up, etc., right? And then the rest of the world, they might just be in 1 or 2 scenes of your life, and then you never meet them again, right? So that's called extras, right? Like everybody else, right? And your whole life is like this movie that is revolving around you. Everything that's happening around you, right? It's like the cameras are always on you, right? And that's why you're the most important person to you, right? So when it comes to other people thinking about you, guess what other people, in what movies are the other people? They are the main actors of their own movie. And for them, you're the extra. You're the one that are in the background, like it only appears once in the movie, right? And never appears again, right? You're the extra. So they don't give a crap enough about you to have opinion of you, right? Like a lot of people go, oh, I hope nobody, notices this little stain. Nobody cares because everybody's too much concerned about their own appearance, right? So when you start thinking, oh, what will they think of me? They don't think of you anything. Like, if you knew how little they thought of you, you'd be offended because of that, right? But not of their opinion, right? So just don't worry about it, right? Just have relax about it, right? Okay. Now, another thing that I really loved, and I'm sort of jumping, but I just some ideas that I sort of were important, was about how you build your business, right? So let me actually see if I can. I saw it. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Don't want to start jumping around from one thing to another because it's just going to be a mess. Okay. So then there was another speaker called Rob Sperry. I love that guy. He's awesome. So he asked this question. He said, "Are you fake working?" So a lot of people in network marketing are fake working. They pretend to work. So in reality, there's like what he calls tiers. there's like 3 tiers of activities. So tier number 1 is, of course, the most important activity. And that's talking to new people, third-party validation. So that's when you're doing three-way calls with your team members, right, prospects, and adding people to your list. So that's like tier 1. Then tier 2 is reaching out to existing team members and nurturing current leads, building relationship. That's tier 2. And then tier 3 is like team trainings, personal development, studying anything relevant to your company. Now, all of those things are important. You can't say, oh, personal development is not important. But that's tier 3. Reaching out to your existing team members and supporting your team, it's important, but that's tier 2. Most of your activities should be tier 1. And he gave a good example. He said, tier 1 is the fire. Tier 2 and 3 are fuel to the fire. So if you already got the fire burning by reaching out to new people all the time, by doing three-way calls with new people, with your team members, by adding new people to your list, if you have that fire burning, then reaching out to your existing team members and supporting them and doing some trainings, etc., that adds the fuel to the fire. But if you're not reaching out to new people, if you're not prospecting, and you haven't got the fire, you can do all the other stuff, the fuel, but like if you pour the fuel on the ground and there's no fire there, the fuel is not going to catch fire. It's just going to be laying there on the ground. You know what I mean? So it's so important to do those income producing activities and not losing the track of it. And it's called the management trap. So many people get into that where they recruit a couple of people and they go, well, that's it. I don't need to recruit anymore. I just need to support my team. I love Rosa with hashtag super supportive, right? I'm super supportive, right? I'm just supporting my team. I'm just helping my team, right? But that's just basically you hiding from work. You need to be personally in the trenches all the time, no matter how big your team grows. Whether it's 100 people, whether it's 1,000 people, whether it's 10,000 people, whether it's 100,000 people, whether it's like one speaker spoke who has a structure of 1 million people. Imagine having 1 million people in your team. Can you imagine? The guy's been earning over $1 million a year for many, many, many years, right? Like more than he cared to remember, right? But that's what happens, right? So your business can grow, but it doesn't matter how big it grows. You always need to be reaching out to new people and talking to people, right? And you see, what people think that successful people work harder than the unsuccessful. And reality is not the truth. Because it's same 24 hours. Everybody has the same 24 hours. But successful people just focus on the most important things. You see, unsuccessful people very often will work the same amount of hours as the successful person, but the unsuccessful person is reading the catalog for 2 hours a day, flipping through Facebook for an hour a day. They're doing the same amount of hours, but not the things that they need to be doing. Not the things that are actually going to give them the money. You know what I mean? Not messaging new people, not calling new people, not meeting with new people, not prospecting new people. They don't do any of that, but they do everything else. And you see, that's why they don't make the money. That's why they don't get the results, right? So you need to know where to focus your time on, right? Okay. So then Frazer talked about how to become an unstoppable recruiter. And it's like phases, right? So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to share with you the blueprint that he shared. And I really, really loved it. And actually, I'm going to give you the link to download that blueprint as well. Now, by downloading that blueprint, you'll get on his list. So you'll start receiving his emails too. If you want later, you can unsubscribe. That's okay too. But let me just go ahead and share my screen and jump on that. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Cool. All right, I can see some thumbs up. Awesome. So this document is called What Would Frazer Do? All right. So it's like a flow chart of recruiting in your business, right? And literally just walks you step by step. So he uses the method called FAM. right? Find, add, message, right? So he's got an example. Hey, Bob, I noticed you live in Liverpool. Me too. Thought it would be cool to connect. How are you, right? So it could be something also along the lines of, hey, John, I see you live in Manchester. I'm expanding my business in Manchester. I'm not sure if this would be a fit for you or not, but I'm just curious. Would you be open to take a look at some information? And if not, totally cool, right? So this one is more about like building a relationship first and then prospecting. My one is like going directly to it, right? So you send a message and there's two options, reply or no reply. So if a person replies, you go into Lord or direct. So Lord is like a relationship building. So L is, what is L? Lifestyle, occupation, recreation, dreams, right? So you speak about, you start building relationships. So what do you do on your free time, and what are your goals and blah, blah. You build a bit of relationship. Or you can go direct. I'm a fan of direct because I'm sort of like Ray Higdon school, and he goes straight to the point. I just go, hey, this is the deal. Maybe for you, maybe not for you. Would you be open to take a look? And if no, totally cool, right? I just go straight to the point, right? And then you basically ask them if they would be open. And then if they open, you go, great. I've got a video. It's 15 minutes. When do you have 15 minutes to take out of your life to potentially take the rest of your time off, right? And then the person gives you the time. Then at the time when they said the time is, you ask them, hey, you ready for that video? They go, yes, great. I'm going to send you the link on more information. It takes about 15 minutes to review. You'll be done by blah, blah, blah. I'll contact you then. Does that sound fair, right? So it's either you send them the information when they told you they're going to watch, or you send them now, and then you follow up when they said they're going to watch, right? And does that sound fair? Most people will say yes. Then you send them the link, and then you'll carry on, right? But let's go back. So what if they say no? Right? So you reach out and they say no, they don't reply basically. So then you engage in their posts and message again. So for example, if you send somebody a message and they don't respond, you can go on the timeline, find a nice post and go, hey, nice post. By the way, I sent you a message. So they might go to the messenger then looking for your message, right? If they reply, if there's no reply still, right, then they might be not interested, right? If you ask them, would they be open to take a look at your business, and they say not interested, then just go next, right? We don't convince people, we sort through people. But you might say, hey, no worries, would you be cool with me keeping you posted on my progress? So let's say I reach out to Denise, I go, hey Denise, I've started this thing, earning extra income, would you be open to take a look? If no, no big deal. And she goes, nah, I'm all right. So I go, hey, totally cool, no worries. Would you be okay if we kept in touch and I kept you updated on my progress? She goes, yeah, sure. Most people will go, yeah, sure, right? Cool. Now that person gave me that permission to send them a message a few months from now saying, hey, I'm still doing this thing, we just got a free holiday to Maldives. How you doing? So it gives me a chance to follow up with them again and again and again, right? Okay. What if you send them information and they ghost you, right? So you send them information and they never reply to you back. If that happens at any point in your conversation, then you just go, hey, Bob, noticed you went quiet on me. Maybe you're not interested or the timing is wrong right now. But if you could let me know, I'd appreciate it. So that's sort of, gets them to, a lot of people will respond when they get that message. They'll go, yeah, I'm not interested or whatever. Or they might say, oh, sorry, man, I was so busy. I'll watch it now. So whenever they ghost you at any point, you just come back to this message. Hey, I've noticed you've gone quiet on me. What's going on? Give me an answer, right? Okay. So then when you follow up with that person, you always ask, what did you like the best? So when they've seen your presentation, when they've seen your video, you always ask them, hey, what did you like the best, right? So they might say a product or the compensation plan or earning the income or whatever, right? Whatever they like, you go, yeah, what did you like about it? Is that important to you? Etc. So you talk about all of that stuff, and then for best results, you invite them to a freeway call or a group chat with your upline, right? So you want to introduce them then to another person as well in the business. Like Zooms are awesome. when you jump on a Zoom with another person, and now there's three of you talking, right? So again, they can edify you, how great leader you are, etc. And it just really builds that relationship up, right? And then once you have that call, on that call, your sponsor or yourself, you can ask, hey, is there anything else you need to know right now in order to get started? If they say yes, you go back and answer that question. And then you say, is there anything else you need to know before you're ready to get started? If they go, no, sounds like you're ready to get started, or sounds like you're ready to join. Then they either say yes and you sign them up, or they say no thanks. You go back to, no worries. Would you be okay if I kept you posted on my progress, right? So you keep in touch with that person and eventually you recruit them. How many of you would like to get this, this PDF file? Would you like that? Yes, 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 yes. Oh, I can see some hands. Okay, so let me stick the link to that. Where I have the link. So, oh, I think, oh yeah, I know. I'll put it into the comments. So it's FrazerBrookes.com/success. So like I said, when you click on that link, it'll ask you to put your name and email so that he can send you his stuff. But it's good stuff. It's trainings, etc. He sells you some of his courses too, you know, etc. But if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe always. But you'll get that PDF to your email, and then you can literally print it out, stick it on your wall in front of your desk, you know, and just follow that structure. Ooh, what do I send them next? Oh, I asked them this, you know, etc. It's a pretty cool way to work your business and to train your team as well, you know, to follow. Okay. So, you know, this business is about others. It's not that much about you. You know, and too many people take this business about themselves. They make this business about themselves. And it really isn't. It's more about other people. So we need to become a mirror to the greatness of others. Well, what does that even mean? Mirror to the greatness of others. So it's all about finding, you know, it's about you being impressed by the other person, not being impressive to the other person, right? So when you're talking to people, when you're prospecting, you want to be sold by them, why they're so amazing, right? And that's where the asking of the questions comes in. You know, too many of us, we have the bad case of verbal diarrhea, you know, where we just can't stop talking. We just keep giving information, right? Where in reality, we need to be listening to that person and finding out why do they want to do the business? Why could they be good in this business? Because if you just listen, they'll give you all of that information, you know, and the theory doesn't cover the price of admission, right? So just knowing this stuff is not good enough. You need to put it in practice, right? So, and don't expect others to start doing things first. You know, you will need to be the one starting the conversation most of the time. You know, too many people go, oh, I'll put a post on my Facebook. I'm just waiting for them to message me, right? Like most people ain't going to message you. You need to be the first to reach out to them. You need to be the first giving them a call. You need to be the one inviting them for a cup of coffee. You know, don't just expect others to take the first step. Right? If you're scared to take the first step, guess what? They will be scared to take a first step too. So you need to encourage them and you take that first step, right? And you choose the movie you're in. You know, like some of you are in drama. You're in like drama movie. There's like drama in your life every single day, you know. Some of you in like a comedy, you know, and for some of you it's a horror movie, you know, but you choose what movie you're on. You know, you might be in an adventure movie. You might be in a, you know, romantic movie or whatever it is, right? But you choose the movie you're in, right? So we talked about you being an actor. So choose the movie you want to be in instead of being put in a movie that you don't want to be in. I like this. This was from a guy, I think he's from Norway. He said, focus. You know, we hear about you need to be focused in business. And some people go, well, I'm sort of focused. I'm sort of, you know, I'm like half focused. And he said, focus is like pregnancy. Like you can't be sort of pregnant. You can't be a little bit pregnant, right? Like you're either pregnant or you're not, right? Like there's one or the other, right? So same with focus in your business. You're either focused on your business or you're not. You can't be sort of halfway there, etc. And also I liked one of the trainers, he pulled out a card deck. And again, it just reminded me, you know, I heard it so many years ago, but network marketing is a lot like that card deck, right? So imagine that everybody wants that ace. right? Like everybody wants an ace, right? And you know that in the deck, there's 4 aces. So if you just go through the whole deck, you know you're going to get to the ace eventually, right? But like both of us might take a deck each, and you turn the first card over, and it's a bloody ace, right? So you straight away recruit the right person, and they start rocking and rolling, and Bob's your uncle, right? But I might take my deck, and it might be the Joker, first of all, right? And I might have to go through a number of cards. I might have to go through half a deck before I get to the ace. You know what I mean? But it's there. So same way in recruiting. If you just keep recruiting, you're going to get to the ace. You're going to get to the good person. But it's just, sometimes it's just a matter of luck, right? Because you never know who you're going to recruit next. But if you stop recruiting after the 3rd person because the first 3 were jokers, then you're never going to get to the ace. You know what I mean? So you just have to keep recruiting until the ace pops up, until the person that you really were looking for comes, comes into your team. Okay, next is the power of events. I'm going to give you a few more and I'm going to finish because I've got another 40 pages of notes. So the next one that really left an impression on me was the power of events. Now again, some of you will say, well, do I have to use events? Do I have to drive there and book hotels and pay for the event tickets? Can't I just build my business from home? Yes, you can. The answer is, of course you can. Same way how you can cut your lawn with the scissors. But if you want your business to grow faster, if you want to have more leaders in your business, if you want to explode your business, then you have to start using events. I'm telling you guys, you'll hear it from every leader in this industry. Speak to any $1 million earner in network marketing. Ask them, what are your top 5 things for business? In those top 5, they're all going to mention events. I tell you, they're all going to mention events. And big leaders get it, and that's why their business grows so fast. So events are very powerful. One, because of friendships. You go to events, you bond with people. You spend time together, you eat together, you party together, you learn together, you laugh together, you cry together. It builds those relationships, and why make the business hard on yourself doing it without friends? Get some friends and you can build those friendships at those events. As a leader, you want to create the right environment for your team to grow, and the event is one of the best environments. So like Success Summit next year, Irina already bought 75 tickets for the next year. They're £120 each. If you're serious, you need to book your ticket now, and you need to start promoting to your team now, when the tickets are heavily discounted, because after that, it's going to be like £200, £300, etc., right? But that's how big leaders build a business, through events, right? You are the average of people that you are around. Like if you take 5 people the closest to you, you are average of those 5 people. So if you want to become better, start surrounding yourself with better people. And guess what? The best place to find better people than you? Events, right? Because you'll meet other leaders from other companies, etc. In your little group, in your little thing, you might be the King Kong, you might be the top dog. But you go to an event like that, where there's people making 6 figures, 7 figures, you start realizing, hey, I've got plenty, of way to go. I've got more things to do, right? So that's number 1. Number 2 is mindset. The events change people's mindset. It grows people's mindset fastest. Like there's nothing else that grows people as fast as events, right? It recharges people's batteries. It reminds the vision to people. It gets people focused. That's where people make decisions that's it. I'm changing this thing. I'm going all the way to the top. It builds new beliefs. It eliminates old beliefs. So it's just, you cannot imagine how powerful these events are, right? And number 3, it gives you scalability. Like how many people you can train yourself, how many people you can personally impact, how many people, and it gets to a point where people stop listening to you, as a leader. And those of you who've been leaders for a while, you know what I'm talking about. It gets to a point where people become deaf to your message. They need to hear it from somewhere else. So again, coming to these events is powerful because people get to listen to other leaders and they go, oh my gosh, did you hear what she said? And you go, oh my gosh, I've been saying that for 5 years, right? but they just had to hear it from somebody else, right? They had to hear it not from you, right? So if you as a leader are not bringing people to events, one, you're not doing your job as a leader. But two, you are actually doing them a disservice. You have to bring your people to events. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to be at those events. And, I know Frazer Brookes is gone, but we've got the next event, the biggest event of the year, the Go Pro Recruiting Mastery in Las Vegas, right? There is still few tickets left. I'm telling you, there is no event like that. Like, I've been to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within, where I literally walked on fire, and Go Pro was still more powerful for me when I went in Las Vegas last December. So you cannot imagine how much these events can change your life. Words cannot decide. Like, I'm sharing you tips from Frazer Brookes, and some of you might think, well, this is good stuff. Like, this is valuable. You're not getting even 5% of what we experienced there, because we were crying there. We were laughing there. The emotion is not transferable through notes. You had to be there to feel that, and that's what changes you. That's what chips away the concrete. Like, I don't know if you heard of that story of the Buddha. It was in I think in Nepal. They knew that the other country will start invading, and they had this golden Buddha statue made of solid gold, a huge statue. So they thought, if these occupiers come, they're going to rip the Buddha, chop it in pieces, and take the gold. So what they did, they covered the Buddha with concrete, so that people would think it's just a concrete statue and leave it alone. And generation changed into generation, and people forgot that it was the golden Buddha inside. Everybody forgot. They just thought it was a concrete statue. And then many generations later, a kid is playing in the temple, and he nicks the corner of the statue, and it exposes the gold. And they see that and they go, oh my gosh. They start banging it, and they chip away, and they uncover this amazing golden Buddha statue. That story is about you guys. The life, the school, the conditioning, the bad experiences in your life being putting this concrete on you all of your life. And you forgot that it's the golden Buddha inside of you. You think that you are this concrete thing, but you're not. There is gold inside. But the only way to chip away that concrete from you is through those events. When you go to those events, you start thinking bigger. You start chipping away at that concrete, and you think, oh my gosh, I was born for greatness. I was born to do big things. I cannot emphasize enough, guys, how big that is. Okay, what do we have? We have 4 minutes left. Okay, what's the last thing I can give you? All right, attraction marketing. All of us want to attract people. All of us want people to come to us, right? So attraction marketing is super important, especially on social media. So number one, give yourself a Facebook facelift. So your profile should look good. You should have congruent posts with what you are. So if you've got posts about religion, politics, and things like that, get rid of them. Is your profile talking to me about what I want to see, right? Are you presenting yourself as a businessman or a businesswoman, right? Number two, figure out your branding. So what's your mission statement? What are your free, brand anchors? So you might be a mom, a businesswoman, and a, running fanatic or whatever. Find your niche. Who are you talking to? Become authentic. And a big part of that being authentic is sharing your story, sharing the pains in your life, sharing the bad things that happen to you, sharing because you think that that's a downfall, but it isn't. It actually will inspire other people, because they'll say, oh my gosh, she went through that and she's achieving this. Like, we had a training last week, and Denise shared her story. Oh my God. When she shared her story, and I'm sure she will one day share it with all of you. I'm not going to do that now. But for me, it was like, wow. Like, straight away, that person in my eyes went like 17 levels up, when she shared, her story of her life. It's so inspirational, and her attitude is like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But she could have chose not to share that story with us, right? And we would have never known that, the things that she had to conquer in her life and things that she had to achieve in her life and where she is today. Absolutely incredible woman, but that's why it's so powerful when you share your story, So that's authenticity, because a lot of you are thinking, well, what does it mean to be authentic? That's what it means, being vulnerable, opening yourself up to other people and letting them know real you, who you are really, right? Okay. And logos and things like that, not necessary at the beginning. Don't worry about branding, so I need to get these professional logos done and videos and things like that. You can do that later, but not to begin with. You don't need to, right? Number 3, great content, that makes sense, that is congruent with your branding, that is consistent. I've been doing a video every day for the last 427 days, I think, every single day. That's consistency, guys. The people know, hey, this guy goes live every day, right? They know it, right? Follow other leaders, do some lifestyle posts, do some slightly sort of curiosity post, and do some direct post that invites people to join. Don't just be banging them with direct. Like Gary Vaynerchuk wrote this book, Jab, 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 Right Hook. So jab, jab, jab are those little value posts, and right hook is when you sell something. But too many of you are just swinging right hooks all day long at people, you need to mix it up a bit, right? Don't just do sell, 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 right? And you can do, of course, different posts like pictures, videos, but live is, of course, the most effective, okay? And personality first, business second. Always try to put your personality through your posts, etc. Then engage and give value, so engage on purpose, connect with people, comment on people, have like a dream team list. I know Sarah, in one of the trainings, she spoke about that, like writing out, maybe 20 people who you really would love to have in your business. And then on purpose, going and commenting on their posts, going and liking their stuff, encouraging them, supporting them in whatever lives happening on their social media. So they start noticing you, that, wow, that person always supports me. That person always says a good word about me. Well, that's on purpose, guys, because you choose to support those people. But of course, don't stalk. Don't be one of those people who goes and likes 55 posts in one go, because that's just weird. You open your thing and you see all the notifications like Margarita liked 76 of your pictures and commented on 50 of them. You start going, oh my gosh, what is happening here? Margarita doesn't do that. She's cool. She's cool. Don't worry. But I'm saying, I'm just using that as an example, right? Right. So don't go crazy, like one post a day and things like that, right? Okay. The number 5 is stories. That's your secret weapon. At least 5 per day. Get busy on your stories, right? You want to do like 2 business, 3 personal. Mix them up. Don't just keep product, because people will get sick of that, right? Engage with people on your stories. If somebody, did the question or whatever, reply to that, message them, etc. See all the features, best stories. If you're on Instagram, you can add best stories to your highlights. I'm not going to get into that. If you don't know how it works, Google it, how to use highlights. Okay, the last thing I wanted to share, the one that at the beginning I said, it's what's your number. Now, I really like this because it really just, again, made me think about follow-up and how important that is. Because if you do it properly, it really increases your business. So the lady said, look, you have to choose how many people you can comfortably be reaching out every day on social media. So, day 1, maybe 2 people. Day 2, maybe 4 people. Day 3, maybe 8 people. Day 4, maybe 16 people. Day 5, maybe 32 people. And see what you can do comfortably. But it's important to follow the 3-step formula. And for me, that was a bingo moment. So day 1, let's say you message 2 people. Cool. Day 2, let's say you message again just 2 people. But now you message the 2 people and you have to follow up with other 2 people that you messaged yesterday. Day 3, you message 2 people and you have to follow up with the other 4. With the 2 you send a message 2 days ago and the 2 you send a message yesterday. Day 4, you message 2 people, you have to follow up with the other 6. By the end of the week, you're following up with like 14 people, etc. Do you get what I'm saying? Because a lot of you are just sending messages, and you're not following up with those people. You're waiting for them to reply to you. That ain't happening, right? You need to go back to those people and you follow up. So imagine if you start messaging 10 people a day. You message 10 people today, cool. Message 10 people tomorrow, you have to follow up with another 10. That's 20. Next day, you message 10, you have to follow up with another 20, right? By the end of the week, you're following up with like 70 people. You understand what I'm saying? So if you do that every week, oh my gosh, you'll have so many follow-ups. Soon you'll stop sending new messages because you'll just be following up with all the people you already messaged. You know what I mean? So get really, really good on your follow-up and you'll get some incredible, incredible results. You know, and you'll be a lot more systematic in your business. Okay, guys, that's it. That's our hour. I still got loads of pages, but that will be for another time. Hope you got some value, guys. Think about what are the few things you can put in practice. What are you few things you heard today you can actually go and implement in your business? You don't have to do all of that, but a couple of things. What could you put in practice in your business that would give you better results, that would make you more money, that would help you recruit more people? You know what I mean? Cool, guys. That's it for today. Thanks for, oh, before we finish, cameras on, chest out, stomachs in. We need to do a screenshot, guys. Come on. Get in there. All right, all right, all right. Come on, come on. Don't be shy. Turn your cameras on. I can see Evadne. I can see Christina. I can see Grajina. Anna. Who else? Who else? Who else is brave? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Turn those cameras on. All right. I see another Anna. I see Sarah. Who else do I see? Come on, come on, come on. I'm not taking a screenshot until everybody turns the camera. I can see Luba. Beautiful. All right, who else have we got? Come on. Yes, Ernesta. Get in there. Cheese! Awesome, guys. Thanks very much for jumping on, guys. Love you loads. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.